Okie dokie. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and start with 1 foot forward. We're gonna do that thing where we're gonna hook our thumbs. We're gonna scoop down and come right up, just shifting that weight from 1 foot to the other. There we go. Take your time, right? And we want this to be that sort of spherical motion. So it's not just up and down, it's kind of a scoop. And we rise right up and lift through the ribs, okay? There we go. Let's do that 2 more times, just like that. Excellent. All right, keep that same foot forward and just start reaching for the sky. Let your hips go side to side. Beautiful. Get a nice long lift through those ribs. That's it. And then we're going to reach across and reach across. Beautiful. Take your time. This isn't a race here yet. Anyway, just a nice long reach. Get those ribs moving, okay? Get your shoulder blades moving. That's it. All right, let's go ahead and switch legs. We're gonna put the other foot forward. We're gonna hook those thumbs, scoop down and up. There we go. That's it. Get those arms right out there. You're kind of reaching as far as you feel comfortable away from your center of gravity, okay? Get a nice long stretch going. Excellent. Let's all do that 2 more times. And 1 more time. Perfect. And then reach right up for the sky. Julie, you want to join us? Yeah. There we go. Now reach across and reach across. That's it. Get a nice long reach. Extend those arms right out there. Perfect. Okay, guys, we're warming up. Let's go ahead and get your feet wide-ish apart, a little bit toed out. Hook those thumbs. We're gonna go down and up, down and up. Little half circles, okay? Now, with this, I'm gonna stand to the side because what I want you to try to do is sort of drop your hips down, a little bit lower, okay? Again, take your time. This is a slow paced warm up because we're going for some depth here, okay? We're reaching way out. We're getting low again and we're reaching way out. Good, I'm just gonna take a look at everybody. Nice. Now, if you feel like you're dropping your heads down, let's try to keep your heads up. Bye, Julie. Keep your head and chest up, even as you're dropping down through. Okay? Good. That's it. Now, let's go all the way around. Big circles. There we go. That's it. Reaching way up there toward the ceiling. And switch directions for me. Take it in the other direction. Nice long arms this whole time. Dropping those butts down. 1 more big circle. Beautiful. Okie dokie, great job. I'm gonna grab my light weights. We're gonna keep warming up. We're gonna do another like kind of 3-dimensional move here, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab some light weights for this one. So if you wanna join me in that, feel free. All right, so we're gonna do that move that may be familiar to some of you at this point, maybe not everybody. We're gonna take one foot forward and reach up. We're gonna take the other foot forward and reach back. So 1 foot forward, arms go up, foot back, arms go down. And we're gonna keep the foot that's not moving glued right down to the floor. Okay, so meaning when I step forward, that foot that stays put, I'm not bending my knee, I'm not picking my heel up. I'm really keeping good contact with that foot into the floor. So if you were able to catch either the live or the replay of the office hours from last Friday, I had Nicole Methot with me and we talked a lot about the feet. She showed us a good technique with the melt balls for your feet. We're gonna go ahead and switch legs now. So go ahead and do your other leg. And then one of the things that we talked about on Friday was this set of moves that we're doing right now is an awesome thing to do after you do those melt balls on your feet, because we're getting a lot of good mobility coming through that foot. That's it. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, you might want to take a peek. Let's go ahead and do 2 more of these. There's 1 and 2. Beautiful. Okay, we're switching legs now, and instead of forward and backward, we're going wide and crossover, okay? If you're not comfortable with the crossover, or you're not supposed to do that for one reason or another, just step back 2, okay? But if you're good with it, go wide, come back, crossover, and reach up, or just step 2. Either way is fine. That's it. But we're getting those hands up there in the air. Whether you're crossing over or not, we want a nice high reach at the top. Good. That foot that isn't moving, again, glued right down to the floor. So we're getting some good mobility going through that foot and ankle. Excellent. Nice job. Let's all do 2 more. Good. You got it. All right, same thing on the other side. We're taking a wide step and either a crossover or just a step back 2, okay? On the wide step, you reach down. When you're coming back up, you reach up. 2 bookends here. Nice reach down, nice reach up. We got it. Let's do 3 more of those. So here's 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, we got 1 more direction to go in this 3-dimensional warm-up. We did forward and back. We did wide and across. Now we're gonna open up and come back around. Open it up, come back around. Okay? Now, we've talked about this before with these rotational moves. What I want you to do is picture yourself standing on a clock, okay? The foot that's opening up, if it's your right foot, you're gonna open up toward 4 o'clock, okay? If it's your left foot, you're gonna open up toward 8 o'clock, all right? So not all the way back behind you. Let's get it open and then come back around. Open it up and come back around. We don't need to overdo that backward step. Okay, looks good. Get those arms swinging. If you've got some weights, adds a little mass and momentum there. You got to control it. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. Beautiful. All right, now we just have to do the other leg. So go ahead and open that other leg up. Don't worry about your arms just yet. Just think about where you're stepping, okay? So again, not way back here because that puts pressure on this knee that we don't need, okay? So just a nice open step and bring it back around. And get your arms going. Perfect. You got it. Take your time, no rush. Very good. We're going to do 2 more. There's 1 and 2. Great. Okay. We're going to go back to the forward and back move, but we're not stepping this time, okay? We're toe touching. So tap the floor and tap the floor. So if I was going to stand this way, tap the floor in front, tap the floor behind, okay? So we're not bearing weight on that foot, but notice what my upper body's doing. Tap forward, kind of lean back to counterbalance. Tap backward, lean forward to counterbalance. That way, we're using the front of the hip here, the back of the hip here, okay? So just work that motion because we're going to get the arms going too, okay? As you tap forward, reach up. As you tap back, reach backward. Forward and up, down and back. And again, we're not stepping on that foot. We're lightly touching it to the floor so that we're having to balance on that stance leg the whole time, okay? Getting our core warmed up here. If you feel comfortable, try no touching. So not tapping and hovering above the floor. And don't worry if that's not happening for you. That's okay. Just keep tapping. But if you feel comfortable trying to hover that foot above the floor and not touch, give it a try. You could always go stand next to the wall and touch something for a little bit of balance, okay? But we are weight bearing on that stance leg the whole time. Okay, we're not transitioning the weight over to the leg that's moving. Whoa, we're trying not to fall over like I just did. We're gonna do 2 more. Woo, that leg's getting tired. I lost my balance. Okay, all right guys, shake that off. We're gonna do the other side. So start with the tap. Don't worry about the hands. We'll get those going in a minute. Tap forward, tap backwards, okay? The weight staying on the stance leg. Start to get your upper body moving with you, okay, to counterbalance so that we know that you're actually mobilizing those hips. If your upper body isn't moving and you're just doing this, we're not really moving that stance hip, okay? So that's why we got to get the upper body in on the action. Tap back, reach down, tap forward, reach up. Tap back, reach down, tap forward, reach up. I'm just going to take a peek at everybody. Good. Remember, it's just a tap. We're not putting weight on that moving leg. Good. You got it. Nice. Now that we've got the arms and the upper body going with us, we know that hip is working hard. I feel my calf working, thigh, everything. Okay, now if you feel comfortable trying this, try no touch. Okay, so you're just gonna hover that foot above the floor. Does help to sort of pick something to look at. Keep your gaze on. Really feel that foot on the floor. Doing great, guys. Legs should be getting tired. We're gonna do 3 more. There's 1. Oh, I can feel this in my feet. There's 2. And 1 more. Good. Shake that off. Great job, guys. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna go in a different direction now. So we did the balance forward and back. What I want you to do is put your hands like this to get started with the side to side. So remember this move we did where we stepped out, and then crossed over. We're not gonna step, we're gonna tap out and tap over, okay? Tap out, tap over. Now, if something doesn't feel right when you're crossing that midline, you can always just come back tall and not worry about crossing over, okay? Tap and tap though, not bearing weight. Now, I'm gonna start to move my arms. Go out to the side, I'm gonna raise that hand up when I go off to the side. That's it. When I cross over, I'm gonna raise the other hand up. We got it. That's it. Oh, you guys look good. I love it. Everybody just started doing it. Great job. Okay, keep those arms moving with you. Feel all that space you're making for your hips and your back. Okay, when we combine movements like this, we're creating space in our joints where they need it. Gravity weighs us down, we sit, we look down, we're down, 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 we're cooking, we're gardening. We need to create space in those joints. And that's what you're doing right now. Now, if you feel comfortable, try no touch. That'll slow you down, okay? See if you can get a couple where you're not actually even touching that foot to the floor. Good. Now we're cooking. Let's do 3 more, okay? There's 1. There's 2. And here's 3. Awesome job. Shake that off. Woo. Okay, we're gonna do the other leg. So here we go. Hands up to the shoulders. We're gonna tap that foot off to the side. We're gonna tap it across. If you don't wanna go across, just tap it back to where you started, okay? Now, just a light touch. Notice my upper body is moving, okay? So if the upper body's still and the leg is just moving, we're exercising this leg, but what we really wanna get is that stance leg. So that's what that weight shift is all about, that leaning of the upper body, okay? Now we're gonna start to use the arms. I'm gonna go off to the side, take that same side arm up. I'm gonna cross it over, switch arms. That's it. Beautiful. You got it. Now we can't help but work that stance side leg and hip, okay? Once those arms get going, we just can't help but work that side. There we go. That's it. Looks good. We're gonna do a few more with the tap. Then we're gonna try no touch, okay? I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna try to hover that foot above the floor. You'll notice I'm slowing down a little bit because I wanna stick it and I don't wanna fall over, okay? There we go. Reach up for the sky. That's it. I know this is a weird move, but man, we're working. All those muscles and bones and ligaments in our feet, all the way up through the calf, the thigh, the hip, the upper back. Let's do 3 more. 1, shoulders, everything. There's 2. 1 more. There's 3. Woo! Yowza. My foot is working. Okay, we got 1 more direction to go with these balances. Then we're gonna take a break. If you need a break now, grab a sip of water, feel free, okay? I'm gonna take the foot. So remember we did this open step and closed step. Now we're just gonna turn and tap, okay? Don't worry about the arms yet. We'll move them in a minute. But tap and tap. Feel that foot that's on the floor, okay? So if you feel like you're shifting your weight over onto that leg that's moving, try to stop. Try to recenter yourself right over that stance leg, okay? We're gonna get those arms going and going. Same direction that the leg is moving. If you can keep them up here at this shoulder height, go for it. If that just feels a little too stressful, you could bring them up and down, up and down. That would be fine too, okay? If you can keep them on the same plane, go for it. Now, let's try no touch. Save the best for last on this balance nonsense here today. That rotation is a tough one to stick the balance, but it's worth practicing, okay? Keep that going. This turns a little switch in your feet to turn the arch on and then flatten it out. And we need those mechanisms for balance, for strength, power, all that. 3 more. 1. Ooh, my arms are getting tired now. 2. 1 more. 3. Whew. Okay, we got 1 more leg to go. Then we're gonna take a little water break, but of course, if you need one now, go for it. Okay, switch legs. Don't worry about the arms yet. Get your open and close tap, okay? Open it up, close it up. Feel that foot on the floor, okay? Connect your brain to what that foot on the floor feels like. You might feel it changing shape a little bit. It might want to go off to the side and kind of roll over off to the side. Don't let it do that. All right, now we're going to move those arms. If you can keep them on this same plane, like shoulder height, go for it. If you'd rather let them come down a little bit and then lift them up, you can do it that way too, okay? You want to strain, but we do want to challenge ourselves. All right, I'm going to try no touch. Just a hover and a hover. We are working it today. Just a hover and a hover. We haven't even gone fast, but we're working. We've kept everything pretty slow right now, but feel how hard your muscles are working. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna set these down and get a little sip of water here. Feel free to do the same. You guys are doing great. Good, gang. Oops, I just dropped my water. Okay, back at it. I'm gonna go for my heavier weights now. So if you have a couple of options and you wanna bump it up a little bit, go for it. If you only have one, that's okay. No problem. All right, guys. We're gonna recenter ourselves a little bit from all that balance work. So go ahead and get your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, okay? Maybe a little bit toed out, not a ton, just a little bit. We're gonna take your weights, if you've got them, we're gonna drop it down, okay? We're not gonna stay here yet, but in a moment we will. And then we're gonna come right up. We're gonna talk about the form here in a second, okay? Drop those hips down. Still wanna be able to see your chest, or upright. So not the top of your head in the camera. We still want to see your faces a little bit, even if you're just gazing up, just a touch. Okay? Bring it back down again. That's it. That's it. Good. Okay? Get into a little flow here. We're just going down and we're coming up. Notice we're going slow. Okay? Slow and steady. Not pausing really down there at the bottom or the top right now, just a flow. And if you find yourself really folding forward and staring at the ground, just reset yourself a little bit, okay? We want to just stay a little bit more upright in the body, and we want to watch those knees. So we don't want the knees coming forward of the toes. We want to sit right back and then bring it up. Good. Let's all do 5 more. We can do it. We can do 5 more of anything, right? There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Great job, guys. All right. We're going to keep those weights. We're going to get 1 foot forward, okay? Now, the move here to begin with is to reach straight down. So I've got one hand on one side of my leg, the other hand on the other side of my leg. Gonna come to the shoulders, bring it up, back to the shoulders, bring it down, okay? So if I stand to the side, you can see I'm really working at keeping my spine straight as I do that reach down. So not folding the back over, keeping the back relatively straight, sticking the butt out, okay? Hinging at the hip, however we want to think about it. Now, if at any point you feel like you need to just shake your legs out, give them a rest, go and do that, okay? We're gonna do 3 more if you got it. So here we go. There's 3. There's 2. See that slow pace? There's 3. Sometimes we have a tendency to try to speed through these things. We're going to keep it slow and steady today, okay? That's part of the move today. All right, so go ahead and switch legs. Good. Same reach down. Come up to the shoulders. Reach overhead. That's it. Slow and steady today, because when we go fast, sometimes we blow through some of the muscles that we're trying to work on. We lose the integrity sometimes, okay? So today we're going for a little more precision in where we want these moves to come from. All right, so I'm gonna stand to the side. Nice straight back, relatively straight back. I feel like when I'm reaching down, I'm really pressing my front foot into the floor. I can feel the pressure increase into the floor through that front foot. We're gonna do 3 more. Okay, we can do it. There's 1. There's 2. 1 more. 3. Beautiful. All right, guys. Great job. Okay, now just watch me for a second. We're gonna have both feet on the floor again, but we're gonna be that wide stance. So check your feet. You don't wanna be so wide that you can't move your hips from side to side. So just get in your position. Make sure you can jiggle those hips from side to side. So now what we're gonna do, and again, just watch me. We're gonna go off to one side, kind of cradle that knee again. I got one weight on one side, one weight on the other, coming back here. Then I'm shifting over to this side, okay? So here, this leg's bent, this one is not. All right, we're gonna come back over, shift over to the other side. Now this leg stays straight, and the one I'm bending over bends, okay? I'll stand to the side in a second so you can see it, but you're just in that nice wide stance. Get down there, reach up, shift over, get down there, and reach up. Good. Keep going, okay? Here and here. Chances are it's gonna feel a little easier on one side. One side's gonna feel a little tighter. One side you're gonna wanna go a little deeper. The other side, it might be a little harder. Just pay attention to that, okay? See if you can even them out a little bit. Not by forcing anything, but just by seeing maybe one hip just isn't used to doing that, okay? See if you can ease it on into that move. We tend to use, just like we use one hand more than the other, we tend to use one side of our legs, one leg a little more than the other for certain things. Okay? We'll just even ourselves out a little bit today. 3 more to each side. There's 1 and 1. There's 2 and 2. 1 more each. 3 and 3. Beautiful. Great job, gang. All right, drop your weights for a second. We're just going to do a little forward fold. Stretch those backs out a little bit, little rag doll. Okay, try to let gravity take over. Let your arms hang, let the weight of your head just hang with gravity. Relax your jaw and your neck muscles. We're gonna tuck your tailbone under and roll it up bit by bit. And we'll end with a few big controlled shoulder rolls. Okay, nice. Let's get our feet a little wider than shoulder width. I want you to do the same thing. Fold forward. It's gonna feel a little bit different. Let gravity take over. Let your arms hang. Your jaw muscles relax. Come up by tucking your tailbone under. You might bend your knees a touch, just a little bit. Tuck that tailbone under. Roll that spine up. Good. A few more shoulder rolls here for me. Nice big ones. Up, back, down, forward. All the feels there. Up, back, down, and forward. Good. Let's go one at a time. This simple move here is a wonderful thing to do during the day after you've been working on the computer or sitting down and reading. Stretch your back out, come up and roll those shoulders. Big shoulder rolls. You can even do it sitting down. Okay, but great way to wake up, get some good blood flow going through all those muscles. Pick up your weights again. I've got my heavier ones right now. Good. Okay, we're gonna be just slightly wider than shoulder width with those feet. Toes forward, okay? So sometimes we toe them out. Right now, we're gonna keep them forward. Very good. We're gonna go ahead with those weights like a punch, up and up, okay? We're gonna talk about the hips and the legs in a second. Just get this nice, flowy turn and punch, okay? Your waist is turning with you. We wouldn't wanna block the hips from turning on this because then we'd get a weird rotation through the spine. We want everything to turn together. The hips and the chest turning together, just like if you're playing golf, okay? Or swinging a racket. That's it. We got it. Keep that going from hip to overhead with a nice turn through your back. We're gonna change foot positions, same move. 1 foot forward now, same move, okay? So I've got about 1.5 foot stride, probably maybe 2 feet, okay? So pretty good stride. Keep the arms moving. We're just changed the leg position, okay? That changes what the core is doing, changes what the hips are doing, even the shoulders. All right, we're gonna do 3 more like that. There's 1. Arms might get tired, but that's okay. 1 more each. We can do this. We're doing it together. Switch those feet around. We're gonna keep moving, okay? Switch the other foot. Shoulder to overhead, waist to overhead. Punch, okay? Turn through the hips. That's really important that your hips and your chest are moving with you. That's it. Got a good stride. Nice. 3 more each. 1, 2, and 3. Woo, good job, guys. We're gonna do a quick stretch at the wall for our hips and calf. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have one more work period, just a kind of a quick one, before we cool down together. So let's head over to the wall. We're gonna be in that sort of like a plank position. So my feet are pretty far away from the wall. I'm really relying on my hands here. We're gonna take a nice wide step forward. We're gonna come back and then we're gonna take a little crossover step forward. Okay, wide step forward, glide your weight over toward that foot, crossover step. If you're not comfortable with the crossover, just take it forward, okay? But the other thing that I want you to think about here is keep your foot on the floor, okay? That foot that's staying on the floor, don't lift the heel up. Keep it glued right down. Excuse me. Good. One more each of those steps. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna switch legs now, guys. We're gonna go wide with the other leg toward the floorboards. Bring it back. We're gonna cross over toward the floorboards. Bring it back. Keeping that foot on the floor, glued right down, and shifting your weight, meaning when you step, you want your hips to follow in the same direction that you stepped in with that foot. Okay, that way we're gonna get a little more lengthening happening through the hips and that whole leg. Let's do one more each position. Good. All right, gang. We got one more little work thing to do. So go ahead and pick up your weights. I've got my heavier ones. We don't need to be near the wall. We just need to be near out in a little bit of open space. Okay. Good. We've got that wide stance. Still can move the hips though. Okay. Not so wide you can't move your hips. We're going to toe out just a little bit. We're going to drop it down. We're gonna stay there and reach and reach. Reach and reach. One hand drops down, the other one comes up. Hips are shifting a little bit with you, okay? And that's enough of that. We're gonna come up tall, reach and reach. That's it. Reach and reach, we got it. Remember, a little slow, a little steady, okay? I have my heavier weights right now. You can pick whichever you want. We're gonna do 2 more with each hand. 1, 2. We're dropping it down again, guys, and we're gonna stay here, okay? Stay down, right? Reach and reach. One hand goes down, the other one comes up a little bit. Check your backs, okay? We want your backs to be strong, not folded over, okay? Not collapsed in any way. 3 more with each. 1, 2, 3. Woo-hoo! Come up. We're doing the same thing. Lift, lift. Notice I'm not dropping either hand down very low. Really, they're kind of staying overhead, okay? But one's going a little higher. These are high hands here. That's it. That's it. Okay, we're going low one more time, high one more time. Let's do it. We can do this together. We can do anything one more time. Drop one down, then the other. Shift those hips. Check your back. Make sure your spine is relatively straight, okay? Meaning we're not collapsed over. We're not rounded, okay? Oh my, our thighs are working. 1 more each. Woo, bring it up one more time. High hands, okay? Notice even on my low side, It's not going below my head. Okay, keep those hands high. We can do it. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Woo! Put those weights down. Wonderful job, guys. All right, let's breathe together for a few minutes. All right, we're gonna move with our breath. 1 foot forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Beautiful. Exhale down. This is a time to go at your very own pace with your breath. No rush. The point is you're fully emptying the lungs on the way down and you're filling them up as you come back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. Exhale down and across. Inhale up and open. Exhale down and across. Inhale up and open. Good. One more time like that. And switch legs. This is the last thing. Okay? Go at your own pace. Move with your own breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. Beautiful. One more straight down. Exhale down and across. Inhale up and open. Really empty those lungs and then fill them back up. One more time. Beautiful. High fives, everybody. That was good. I saw a lot of hard work today. And again, I'm sweating up a storm. Feel free to unmute if you'd like.
Did your girls start school, Robin?
Oh, no, not yet, Christine. They start on the 16th.
Oh, okay. So you got some time. Ours kids just start.
Yeah. You guys started, yeah?
Yeah. And say Ella,
how's it going?
You got senior privileges. So already first day she came home. She's like, I went to Starbucks.
Oh my gosh.
Homework or anything. So they just left.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Maisie showed me her senior pictures yesterday that she had on Instagram. They're beautiful.
Oh, Ella's pictures. They came out so nice.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
they look great. Yeah.
Robin,
gorgeous. Yeah.
I have a quick question because I feel dumb having done you for 2 years. You know when you open up in that move where you say go to 4 o'clock, right? Mm-hmm. This one?
Yeah.
I feel as if I've been doing point, straight leg. When you turn back, does your back leg bend?
Yes. Great question. Great question. Yeah.
I've been jamming the knee.
I'm going to stand backwards for a second. So
Okay.
what Elizabeth, what you just said is when you're doing that, you feel like you've been straight-legged the whole time. Right. So I'm glad you mentioned this because I bet that this is something we could all think about. So what I want you to do is when you go out there, we are going to let that bend a little bit. Okay. So sometimes we're reaching and it's going to bend further. But with any of these steps, think of it like a shock absorber. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that is more like a spring absorbing the shock of your body going into the ground. Okay. So that means that probably with most of the things we're doing, we're using the hip to absorb that and then come back out.
Okay.
So that's probably something that you could think about with almost any move. Almost any move. I'm having a hard time thinking of an exception right now that we wouldn't load into it and come back out.
Okay. That's
one of those principles is a load to explode, even though this doesn't feel like a big explode, it is. You're loading and lengthening in all 3 planes, and then you're able to come out of it more efficiently. So that's great. So it'll help us be more efficient with our movement when we think about doing things that way.
All right, that's what I wanted. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
And I have an interesting observation to share.
Great.
Because I'm on vacation, I don't have my weights with me, right? So I took
Right.
bottles of ginger ale glass, right?
Perfect.
And,
Uh-huh.
and I figured at the beginning, I thought, well, it's ridiculous because it's not a weight. And it did help me a little bit with the balance, but also when you put all your focus into gripping it and using the muscle, you have a lot of you still do a lot of exercise in your arm muscles, even though you have
Yeah.
next to no weight in your hands.
I think you're right. I think it does put more purpose to it. Yes. And it doesn't have to be heavy, does it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
Great.
observation. Yeah.
Thank
I have a
you.
lady I work with virtually, and she starts with her full water bottle, and we use that as a weight. And then as we go, she just drinks it, so it gets lighter. So we do different things. But yeah, hey, whatever works, it works.
Thanks,
All right,
Robin.
great job, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Oh, great to see you too, Christine. Bye-bye.